Hi there, I just wanted to show you some tricks on how to maximize a full sheet of 12 by 12 paper to do mats for 4 by 6 photos. Now typically I like to do a photo mat on a lot of my photos, and I usually do the cut a 1/4 inch bigger so that I have a 1/8 border all the way around. Now my first mistake was how I cut my paper. I'd always need 2 sheets of cardstock to mat my photos because I was cutting it wrong, and I just discovered this a little while ago. I figured out, or saw I should say, another person had posted how to maximize your cardstock. So normally what I would do is I would cut a section off that was 6 1/4 wide, and then I'd be left over with a strip that's 5 3/4. Well, that I could only get 1 mat out of that leftover half, and I could only get 2 out of this side because the scrap left over was 3 1/2 by 6 1/4. So that was I wasn't able to maximize it, so I could only get 3 photos matted, and it's wasteful. So then I had all of this waste. I could use this as a border strip and punch out things on the scrap pieces, but then I'm left with all these weird shaped scrap pieces, and then I have to cut a second sheet of paper. So there is a better way. Now this works for 4 by 6 photos, and it also works if you want to do a 5 by 7 mat. So the first thing I did was just trace it out just so you can see how to lay it out differently. If you cut them this way, you can get all 4 of your mats, and then you're just left with this weird shape left over, right? So this is what you're left with once you cut it all away. So just to show you exactly what I mean, I can cut it out on the trimmer, and I'll actually show you how to do the cuts. But you can also do it with 5 by 7, and then it'll just leave you with a little square in the middle left over of the cut. So it's really easy to do with this trimmer because you've got this extra measurement guide on the side, and you've got this line on your casing to show you where to line up on that ruler. And as soon as you push down, the blade engages and it'll start cutting at that spot. So you can cut things out of the centers of paper without having to cut away excess material. So it works really good for this as well. So because I have the pencil marks on here ready to go, it'll be really easy to do the cuts. So you line your first one up on the little black strip or at the 6 1/4 mark. And then you find the 4 1/4 mark on the side, and that's where you start cutting. So you press down and you go, and then you've got that cut. And then you can either flip it over or you can just line it up to the bottom. Same idea. You go to the black cutting line, or on this side you line up to 4 1/4, and then here you would find your cut. Oh, did I measure that right? I might not have measured that right. Oh no, 12 is there. Okay, so 6 1/4. And then it cuts out. So then this is what you're left with, right? You've only got just a little nick there. And then you just repeat that process all the way around until you've cut away, like I showed you, the inside like that. 5 by 7, same thing. So you line it up to the 7 inch mark, and you line your side up to 5, and cut. And then, like I said, you can flip it over to do the other way. And then rotate, we have to rotate. I'm just cutting on extra scrap paper to show you. So then you line that way up to the 5 inch, and then this side up to the 7. And again, right. So that is a great way to use 1 sheet of paper to do all your matting versus 2 sheets of paper.